Hola everyone and welcome back to another episode of The Throne, your quick look at the South American rosters for the 2018-2019 DPC season. So today's team that we're actually going to be taking a look at is a very popular team. It's well known, has a lot of fans, and is very synonymous with Peruvian Dota. And that team today is going to be Infamous. So Infamous did have a little bit of a roster shuffle. Have a couple people still on the team that we've seen before, such as Pepita and Matthew, but we do have some new blood being brought in. So let's talk a little bit about these individual players. So the first name on this list should be pretty familiar to a lot of people. It is Timado. Timado is a very talented, very young player coming out of the Peruvian region. He's had kind of a tumultuous year. He has played for Infamous in the past. He's played for Team Freedom as well. But this year he was on VGJ Storm for a bit. He was also on Is GG and kind of just hasn't found, the right team to really hit his stride with. So now he's back on Infamous. He's come back home to Peru, and hopefully, this is going to be the roster that makes him, shine a little bit more and get results. Used to play quite a bit of mid. He is going to be making the transition, though, over to that hard carry role. I don't think that's going to be any sort of a problem for him, and I just hope that this is going to work out. Moving on to the mid lane, we've got Pepita. Pepita is kind of like an all-star, very well known in the South American region, one of the few Argentinian players that has joined one of the top tier South American teams. He'll often find people showing up in chat to cheer him on. He's got quite a few fans. You'll see the Pepita es mi pastor being mentioned over in chat as well. And he's known for his puck plays. Very slippery player, has a good idea of how to move around on that hero. Over in the 3 position, so this was tough, guys. I don't know anything about Whisper. I tried to look up stuff about Whisper. I couldn't find anything about Whisper. Dota Buff wasn't even showing anyone named Whisper. There was one person that had their username that was a little different. I wasn't 100% sure. I didn't want to pick the wrong person because sometimes they don't update their rosters. The one thing I did find out, though, about Whisper is that he is a Bolivian player, which is fairly rare in the Dota 2 scene. I don't think I've run into many Bolivian players except for a couple maybe in like the open qualifiers. So that's a pretty big deal for Bolivian Dota players. So if you're watching this, Whisper, I apologize. I don't mean to give you the shaft. I just don't know anything really about you, and I can't find that much information. So if anyone does have information on Whisper, please comment, let me know. I would love to find out more about this player. In the position 4, we have Matthew. Matthew has stuck with Infamous for a while now, also played on Sacred for a bit. He's known for his Earth Spirit plays. Excellent Earth Spirit player. Also plays Rubik and Io. We saw actually a lot of Io coming out from Matthew during the, I believe it was the main qualifiers for the International 8. Didn't have the best win rate, unfortunately. I think a lot of the teams kind of were targeting him down quite a bit, but definitely a very hype position 4 player. And again, keep an eye out for his Earth Spirit. It's great. And then at the very least, at position number 5, we've got Moose. Don't know an awful lot about Moose. I do know that he was actually picked up for the Fear, Kyle, and Timado stack. I think it was Gira de Venganza was the team's name, and had pretty good results with them. Unfortunately, I think there was a lot of problems with the internet and ping, and I know too that Fear and Kyle are not used to playing with that kind of disadvantage, whereas a lot of these other guys, they live in South America, they're used to it. So didn't make it too far, unfortunately, just based off of that particular issue. But from what I remember about Moose, just solid position 5 player. Again, position 5 player is not super flashy, unfortunately, so I don't remember any like super huge awesome plays. But obviously, if Timado wanted to bring him along from the Gira de Venganza stack, clearly he's got to be good, and he must get along very well with Timado for him to bring him. So yeah, that wraps up this episode of The Throne talking about Infamous. We will have a couple more episodes. I think we're almost completely done with, I think I've got maybe 2 more left, maybe 1 more. Just talking about these different rosters that have popped up for the Kuala Lumpur Major. So thank you so much for watching. If you like this, throw me a like, throw me a comment, throw me a subscribe or whatever. I really, really appreciate it. I know the quality is not super great. I'm not very good with anything video editing, but again, I just would like to, make these videos so that way people who are not really familiar with the South American scene get kind of a quick overview and can start to get a little bit excited and be like, wow, that guy sounds really interesting. I want to follow them. So thank you guys so much for watching, and your queen is out.